So some other supports that are out there is the Warm Line. Now that's not available in all 50 states. Unfortunately, it's available in 30 states, and I'll put a link in the description so you can see if your state has a Warm Line or not. But in the state of Maine, we have a Warm Line, and that's where you can call somebody. You can call this number, and you'll be connected with somebody that is a peer, somebody that isn't a professional, meaning that they maybe don't have a license or haven't gone to school for to be considered an expert in the topic of mental health, but they know a lot about it anyways. And so you would call them up and you'd get connected with a peer, and they're there just to listen, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For any reason whatsoever, you can call them up and they're there to support you. So another 24-hour line that is nationwide is the crisis hotline that you can call, and I'm going to post these numbers again in the description below. So the crisis hotline, you can call that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when you're very emotionally overwhelmed, very emotionally distressed, and they're trained to help you with that. That could be having thoughts of suicide or homicide. It could just be, I'm feeling very emotionally overwhelmed and I don't have a family member that I can connect with right now. And you want to have that connection, that human-to-human connection. And that's why they're there, is to be able to help you have that human-to-human connection. And the same thing is true for vets. There's a crisis line that is just for vets. So it is answered by veterans, for veterans, kept completely confidential. It will not get back to your chain of command. It is just between you and that other vet. And that number is 1-800-273-8255. When you call that, press 1 and you'll be connected with another vet. Great, wonderful support that I don't think a lot of people know about. So if you know a vet, let them know that number, and they can call it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at any time. So another support is a crisis stabilization unit, which we have here in Maine. So what this is it is a temporary place that you can go when things are very emotionally intense, if you're feeling that you're in crisis. It's not a locked door facility, and what I mean by that is that when you go there, you're not going to get locked in. You can leave at any time. So if you're having thoughts of suicide or thinking that, man, I'm having more and more thoughts, I might have a plan, I'm not sure, but I want to have some more support, but I don't want to be locked into that support, you can go to a crisis stabilization unit, and they're going to have 24-hour staff that's there to help support you. You're going to bring your own stuff there. There's going to be certain rules and stuff that you got to follow, and then you can go home. So they do have counselors that are available. They're able to try and connect you with other supports. They do have a case manager that works with them to, hey, man, I really need this support. They can try and help connect you with those. But it's a temporary thing that's for no more than 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, if you're still in that place, then you guys might need to reevaluate to see where things are at. Does that mean, hey, I need to set up more supports in my home and transition back to my home? Or do I need more supports and now I need to go to an inpatient facility? So this is a place where you would go and stay to get supported, again, on a 24-hour basis with trained staff there. And what's really tough about that is that for a lot of people is that it is a locked door, which means that you go in, they lock the door behind you, and you don't have the key to get out. So that can be very traumatizing for a lot of people. And we know that. So as counselors, a lot of us don't like to do this because we know how traumatizing that is. And with that being said, it's also a lot harder in the state of Maine to do the involuntary inpatient process than what it used to be because of how traumatizing it is. So hopefully that makes you feel better. It's very, very hard to do that now. And the last one is a residential treatment. So with an inpatient, you're going there, and again, it's a temporary thing. It's with inpatient. Let me go back to inpatient, sorry. It's a temporary thing, like no more than a month. If you need more than a month of that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week support, Then you're going to go into a residential treatment or group home type of setting where you're going to have that 24-hour support 7 days a week for an extended period of time, for as long as you need, however long that support is needed, where you'll have access to a counselor, you'll have access to support staff that are trained to know how to support you best. So that is a very brief overview of all these different supports. If I missed any, or you think that there's some that we should include, please comment below, and we'll do our best to put that in there. So as always, this may not apply to you, but if it does, or if it applies to a loved one that you know, or somebody in your life that you think might be helped out by some of this, let them know. But if it doesn't, leave it. So work what works for you, and leave the rest. Bye, guys.